Welcome back to the channel, everybody. As you can see, it's not smoky like it was the other day. It's just real cloudy and overcast. We've got some much needed rain. It's actually softened up the dirt a lot, which makes it nice little change. Settled the forest fires down so we don't have the smoke and stuff going on. Just tag along with us today. This video, we're going to be walking around the chickens, and we're going to be just releasing some random chicken facts. So stick around. There's everybody all happy-go-lucky. Really need to move the chicken coop today, but it's kind of wet. It's kind of afraid to. It's probably going to have to wait till next weekend before I can do that. But, yeah, everybody seems to be doing good. And in case you're all wondering, yeah, there is one that is missing. I meant to mention this last week, and it didn't make the video. We did lose our little hen turkey. It was a predator issue. She had flew out of the fence, and one of the local dogs picked her up, and I did have it on camera, and that's a situation that's being taken care of. So, but yeah, we're down a turkey. But anyway, other than that, we all seem to be doing pretty good. Now, our first fact of the day is going to come in the form of a trivia question, and the question is as follows: how many feathers does a chicken typically have? Is it A, 100, B, 500, C, 1,000, or D, 8,000? We'll give you the answer here in just a minute. Let's go collect some eggs, which will bring us to our next fact. How many eggs does a chicken typically lay? Well, I'll tell you, it depends a lot on the breed, and it also depends on what they eat. A good laying chicken will lay around 300 eggs a year. And they can lay a little bit less, a little bit more, just depends on each chicken. And again, the way they get fed brings a lot in play on that. But typically, probably 250 to 300 eggs a year is a good laying chicken. Now, back to our question on how many feathers does a chicken typically have. If you guessed D, 8,000, pat yourself on the back. Now, before I get a bunch of hate mail on this, I'm going to tell you, now the amount of feathers that a chicken has a lot to do with different scenarios. Everything from the size of the chicken, the breed of the chicken, all the way down to even the time of year that it is. If it's in molting season, they're obviously not going to have that many feathers. And honestly, if they've been fighting a lot, they're not going to have that many feathers either. Now for our next little nugget of truth here. How high can my chicken fly or jump? And it all comes down to the breed of the chicken. We've had chickens here that have been able to fly real high up in the trees, and we've had some that couldn't get more than a couple feet off the ground. It just depends on the breed of the chicken. What we have found is generally the lighter birds, like the leghorns and stuff, or have the birds that have like a lot of leghorn in them, they could typically fly pretty high. And if you're using a poultry fence like we do, you really got to keep their wings clipped. And we've actually seen them with clipped wings go over the poultry fence. So that's why you don't see a whole lot of leghorns in our breeding stock anymore. We had to get rid of them because we couldn't keep them in our fences. And around in our area, if they won't stay in the fence, then they're not protected. So, but the heavier birds like buff orpingtons and such, they don't go very high. That's why we like to keep them. Sometimes the younger buff orpingtons, they can jump over the fence a little bit as they're lighter, but as they get older and heavier, they're incapable of doing it. So, like I said, it all just depends on the breed of the bird. So this next one is a true or false. Do I need to spend a fortune on the shelter for my chickens? And the answer to that is most definitely false. You do not. Everybody sees this chicken house I have, this little chicken house on wheels that's made out of an old camper. I got probably $500 total in this chicken house. And it'll accommodate quite a few chickens, especially the way we do things. It's nothing special. All it is just an old pop-up camper I converted into a chicken house. And honestly, for the $500 I spent on this, It's a totally lot better chicken house than one of those you spend $1,400-$1,500 for from Tractor Supply or Rural King. You do not have to spend a fortune on a chicken house. You can take an old tool shed, an old dog house, anything, and convert it into a little bit of shelter for your chickens. And like we said before, the only thing you really got to worry about for chickens is food, water, and shelter. And as far as the shelter goes, they just need something to keep the frost off of them on the really, really cold days. That's all they need. You don't even have to heat them. So, no, you do not have to spend a fortune on shelter for your chickens. Now, this next fact, some of you country people are going to laugh at because we all know the truth on this. But I see all the time on these backyard chicken pages on Facebook and stuff that people ask this same question, and that is, do I need a rooster to get eggs? The answer to this is absolutely no. You do not have to have a rooster to get eggs. The only time that you absolutely have to have a rooster is if you're planning on hatching the eggs. And a good rooster is also good for helping protect your hens. If he sees a chicken hawk or something, he'll sound the alarm and all the chickens will come close to him and he'll lead them into safety. But other than that, honestly, you don't have to have a rooster. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. For those of you starting to get into chickens, I hope this little video on facts kind of helps you out a little bit. Obviously, that's not all the facts there is. There's a lot more. Any more information, don't be afraid to Google and go on some of these forums and stuff. You'd be surprised what you'll find out. And on Facebook, there's several groups like Backyard Chickens and some other little groups you could check into. You'd be surprised how many questions get asked. And honestly, the only stupid question is the question not asked. So is there any questions? Just ask people questions. Ask people that's been around chickens the questions. And trust me, there's probably not a question nobody's heard yet. I've seen some doozies in some of them groups. But anyway, if you guys want to do me a favor, look down at the bottom of your screen right now. There should be a little button there of a thumbs up. If you haven't highlighted that yet, please click on that. And what that does, that lets YouTube know that you like this video, and it'll circulate it around, so hopefully more people who have watched videos similar to what you watch will get shown this in the suggested feeds. If you haven't yet hit the subscribe button, please do so below. That'll help you be notified when future videos are posted. So until next time, you guys take it easy, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.